Oh. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Are you ready for this one? I tried building a stronghold the other day, but it wasn't my forte. Get it? Forte? It's kind of like fort, and a stronghold's like a fort? Never mind. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Minecraft The Journey with me, Bugman CX. In the last episode, we built this thing behind me, kind of like a chaos machine. There's a chicken up there controlling some pressure plates and deciding when to turn the water and the lava on and off. But in today's episode, I thought we might go off exploring because there are a few big features in Beta 1.8 that we're still yet to explore, and one of those is the Stronghold. As you know, we've already found one Stronghold in this world, but it was kind of a broken one back in the Beta 1.8 leaked pre-release. And since then, Strongholds have been implemented properly, or at least that bug was fixed, and we're now able to venture off into the world and find them properly. So let's do a little bit of a recap on the Strongholds and go off and see if we can find one. During the development of the Adventure Update, well before the first version was released publicly, Notch and Jeb both shared teaser images about what they were working on for the forthcoming update. This is a teaser image that was released by Jeb on July the 1st, 2011, more than 2 months before the first version of Beta 1.8 was released, and it shows a new structure. It looks like a set of old ruins that are out on the surface of the world, and these ruins are made up of the new stone bricks, the cracked and the mossy variations, as well as the new iron bars, which were all new blocks added in Beta 1.8. This picture only shows this new structure on the surface, but shortly after, on July 11th, Notch posted another picture of the Strongholds to Google+, saying, "Here's a picture of what currently happens when a ravine hits a stronghold." So here it shows that strongholds are now buried deep underground instead. And, never mind that dead skeleton, I guess. But when Beta 1.8 pre-release was leaked, we saw that strongholds were broken. Very broken. This is the stronghold from that version, which we located and excavated, and this stronghold has only generated with its single central staircase because of the same structure bug that affected the villages in this version. No other corridors or rooms or anything like that generated with this stronghold. In the Beta 1.8 pre-release re-upload, the structure generation was fixed and strongholds generated normally again. But in this version, they were still limited to only one stronghold per world. That's right, in a sandbox world of unimaginable size, there would be only one single stronghold. But why only one? Well, it just came down to the fact that the game was still in active development and Jeb hadn't finished all of the code. When asked about this limitation, he said, "Since the strongholds are missing its boss monsters, I didn't bother to fix the spawning of them." Wait, stronghold boss monsters? I wonder what that could mean. We'll have to find out. By Beta 1.8 pre-release 2 Winky Face, the amount of strongholds have been increased from 1 to 3. That's right, stronghold generation is still limited, now to only 3 strongholds per world. And that means it could be tricky for us in our already generated journey world. We know that there are only going to be 3 strongholds generating in this world, that the location of the strongholds is tied to the world seed, and that strongholds will typically generate around about 1,000 blocks or so from world spawn. So depending on the location of these strongholds in this world, they could be located in areas that we've already explored and already generated chunks for. And if that's the case, the stronghold won't even generate. Any chunk which already exists, which should have contained part of a stronghold generation, will prevent the entire stronghold from generating. There's also one other thing to mention. The elephant in the room. The strongholds in Beta 1.8 are unfinished. Remember that the Adventure Update was effectively split into 2 parts. The Beta 1.8 part, which we're in now, and then the Beta 1.9 versions, which are still to come. There's one very important feature of the stronghold that doesn't exist in Beta 1.8 yet. I think you might know what it is, but if not, I won't spoil it. But let's just say that with only 3 strongholds in the entire world, we need to be careful about how we approach this and make sure that we can generate one here in Beta 1.8 and in Beta 1.9. We're going to use 3 tools to help us figure out what the situation is with the strongholds within our Beta 1.8 journey world. Those tools are Amidst for checking the features of our world seed, Overviewer for browsing around the world as it currently exists in our save game, and MCEdit just in case we're going to have to go in and make any changes to the existing world. Let's start off here with Amidst. With Amidst, I can load up my world seed and check out all of the different features of the terrain generation based on that world seed. So I've started up Amidst with a Beta 1.8 profile, which means that it'll use the Beta 1.8 terrain generation as its source. So what I need to do here is open up my world, and I can do that by just putting in the location of my save game, and it's checked my seed and it's loaded up what the terrain looks like based on the journey world seed in Minecraft Beta 1.8. So you can see all of the rivers, the biomes, the oceans, and the world spawn location right here in the middle. What I can do now is go up to Layers and select Stronghold icons, and what that'll do is you'll see that some new icons have appeared on the map here, down here, and another one over here. And this is the location of the 3 strongholds within our world. What I can do now is just click on it, and up in the top left-hand corner, I'll get the coordinates of that stronghold, which is 960 by -80. The other one up here is -496, -656, and the one down at the bottom here, I can scroll down as well. This one is at -464,944. So now that we know the locations of the strongholds within our world, we can use Overviewer to have a look at our existing map and see what's going on at those locations. Overviewer allows me to generate an isometric view of my world from a top-down perspective like this. And so I can scroll around my world, and this is all based on my existing chunks, which is why you can see all of my structures and every single block that I've placed in this world. And if I zoom out, you'll also see all of these chunks that we've generated, including lots of interesting things like the chunk borders here as the biomes and terrain has changed over time. And let's scroll over here. This looks like the Beta Lake area. So if I turn on some points of interest, I've also plugged in some coordinates of these. So for example, we have here the log factory, we have the brickworks, we have the town hall, and all sorts of other things like that. Now what I can do here as well is I can scroll back out, and we've got an entire view of the entire world that I've generated so far. And I can turn on the strongholds, and when I do that, you'll see that we have 3 icons appear just like we did in Amidst, and this is the location of those 3 strongholds in this world. And it's telling me what I kind of already feared, and that is that these strongholds exist in pre-generated chunks. In fact, let's go down to this one. This one looks like, well, this icon is right nearby this hole here. So this tells me that this stronghold is actually the tiny one that we found in the leaked Beta 1.8 pre-release with just the central staircase. That's what's down that pit right there. So this one's a write-off. We can't do anything with this. We're going to have to leave that right alone. So let's have a closer look at the other 2. There was one down here somewhere. There it is, right here. Okay, so this is in a really strange location as well. This is in some really bizarrely generated chunks. I suspect this just has to do with Minecraft bugs and weirdness when it comes to generating chunks out in the edge of your render distance. So I was probably out here somewhere in the world, who knows where, generating chunks, and it's created this really weird stripe, and I can't explain why that is. But I haven't built anything else in this area. In fact, the closest nearby thing is probably this portal here, which is right on the edge of the Alpha House area. So we can probably prune back as many chunks as we need if we need to trim all of this out and let this whole section regenerate, because that will cause it to regenerate with a stronghold. It's going to take a bit of experimentation, I'm sure. And if we head up this way to the other one, where was that? That was way up here. Okay. I recognize this area. This swamp is the first swamp that we explored a few episodes back. This looks like very, very generated chunks, doesn't it? So if we want to generate this stronghold, we're going to have to cut out a whole chunk of the world like this. There's actually a chunk border that goes along this line here, all the way along like so. So yeah, I think that the stronghold that we're going to deal with today is probably going to be this one down here, because it's the easiest one. It's right at the edge of the world, out of the way, and we can worry about the other one another time. Over here in MCEdit, we should just be able to load up the existing journey world. And once that's loaded, let's see exactly where we are. Let's also just get rid of that. And it looks like we're right here above the Notch village. So what we can do now is press Control G, and I can use this to move my player to -464, and on the Z it was 944. And if I just go to that location, let's have a bit of a look around. So over here, which is just rendering in, it looks like that weird bridge of chunks that we saw in Minecraft Overviewer. That means that the stronghold would be down here somewhere in these pre-generated chunks. So now it's just a matter of figuring out exactly where it would be in these chunks and then deleting only the chunks that I need to delete in order to be able to generate a stronghold. I don't want to clear out more than we have to. So to do this, I might need to go and create a new world based on my journey seed and then do a little bit of exploring and a little bit of planning. Okay, we're back in Minecraft, and I hope you're keeping up because we're definitely switching through applications like it's nobody's business. But right here, I'm going to go to single player, and we've got our existing The Journey world here in survival mode, and I'm going to create a new world. Let's just call this one Stronghold Hunter, and we'll change it to creative mode to make things easier on ourselves. Under more world options, we'll put in the Minecraft The Journey world seed, and click done and create new world. Now we should have our world, and here we are at the spawn area of the world, and we've seen this before. It's the swampland based on the journey seed. So let's just save and quit to title, and we're going to exit out of the world because the next thing we need to do is load up the level.dat file from this Stronghold Hunter world, go into the data tree and go into player, and here we've got position. Now we're going to change the player position to -464, and this one is 944. Okay, so this should change the player location, and let's just make that 100 on the Y level. Save that, close it out. Now let's load up the game again. Single player, Stronghold Hunter, and if I double tap space once we go in, we should be up in the sky based on our journey world seed. I have no idea which direction is which exactly. But if we generate these chunks for a bit, we should be able to load this up in MCEdit and then have a look at what exists underground and see if we can work out the exact coordinates of the stronghold. I'm losing my mind here. I'm back inside of MCEdit, and I've loaded up the Stronghold Hunter world, which was based on the Journey World seed. Let's just go down underground and see exactly what we've got. Aha, look at that. It definitely looks like we're right above a stronghold. So now the trick is going to be working out what are the dimensions of this stronghold? What are the coordinates in each corner of the stronghold? And then extrapolating that into chunks that we can delete from the Minecraft The Journey World. I'm not going to do all of this on camera because it's going to take my brain and I need to focus. So I'm going to work on that, and then we'll come back and see what we can do with our journey world. So I've double and triple checked this a few times now, but this is a selection of the stronghold in the Stronghold Finder world. Let's go underground, and you can see that the stronghold is currently selected. It's a bit difficult to see exactly where the boundaries are because for some reason the line shows here, even though you can see stronghold over here. But if I do move across, you'll see that it's just perspective and it is actually covered by the selection range. So let's go back out to the sky here so we can see things a little bit more clearly. These are all chunks that are selected now. So what I should be able to do is go down to the chunk control and then delete those chunks like this. And that should delete the entire stronghold. What we need to do now is just go back into our journey world in MCEdit and repeat that exercise and delete the exact same set of chunks. Back in our Minecraft The Journey world now, the exact same selection is in place. And as you can see, it is definitely the journey world and it is the same selection. So I'm ready to do this, but let's go down to chunk control. Let's delete those chunks. And they're gone. Okay, so if we come back to this world in survival now, we should be able to recognize a minor difference in the terrain here. Thankfully, it's only just a small section of the world. It doesn't look very big, doesn't it, when you look at it like this? But let's go back to survival and see what we're dealing with. I think we're all done. I'm ready to go off exploring now, and I'm even wearing a full set of armor, which I hardly ever do. I've got some obsidian for a nether portal and some other essentials like food and iron and torches and arrows and things. We're ready. Let's go. So strange to be back in this part of the nether, but it's still looking good. From up here, it should literally just be down this hill and over that hill over there somewhere. Let's head down and see if we've got new chunks. These are unmistakably new chunks, so let's head down. I want to try and find myself a cave so that we can explore the stronghold in a kind of legitimate way. I'd rather stumble across it in a cave than dig straight down to it. But we'll have to see if there's even a cave down here. I don't even know. How do we get down here? Aha! What do we have here? A cave system? Hopefully. Oh! Spawner. Let's conquer this thing before it gets us. No! Two of you. It's not too bad. I've got my armor on. Oh, it's like nothing. Look, do it again. Oh, I couldn't even feel it. I should wear armor more often. Do we get anything good? No. All right, let's head down into this cave system. Aha! Now just imagine as a player, you're just caving around looking for diamonds, exploring, looking for things, and then you come across this and you think to yourself, what on earth is this? Some sort of strange ancient structure? And you head on inside and you have a look around and you realize that once you've gone inside a little way, you're starting to get lost and you have no idea which way is back, where to go, which way's up, which way's down. You've got to fight off these zombies. And who knows what other dangers and perils you might find in this place. So, let's have a little bit of a stroll around and see if we can find anything. The layout of this stronghold is interesting. It's very maze-like, and you see, you don't really have very much visibility. You can just walk into a little room like this without even realizing what's behind the door. And the longer I stay in this place, I think the more nasties might spawn here. And it did say there were boss monsters, so who knows what that could mean. And I better be ready for that, right? They could be nasty. What's that? Oh, just a torch. You know, I'd probably be getting a refund on this if I bought this torch. You're not doing a very good job. Here, that's how it's done. The stronghold is very maze-like, and as you can see, if I just look down these corridors, you can't see very much, and in fact, I usually play the game on bright while I'm recording because it gives the best video experience, I think, for editing. But if I just go into my options and change my video controls down to moody, I can barely see anything in front of me at all. And remember, moody used to be the default brightness level for the game, so if you were walking around here in the intended brightness levels, you'd barely be able to see anything at all. This is kind of difficult. I'm just going to turn that brightness back up for the sake of the video. Yes, for the sake of the video. Let's just say that, shall we? And head down here and have a bit of a look around. These corridors and rooms remind me a little bit of a Doom level or something like that. And check it out. We have found ourselves a library. This is only the small library. There's actually a larger library, but this is just the small one. That's okay. And it's full of cobwebs, so nobody's working here by the looks of things. There would be thousands of books in here, judging by the amount of bookcases. It's very tight, and so if you encountered a creeper or a skeleton, you probably wouldn't be having a very good time. Wow, this place is huge. Wait, what's this? Some kind of little jail cells? Oh, I've got to check these out. They're really cute. Kind of smell a bit. Wait. How do I get out of here? No. Who's turned out the lights? Hello? Anybody? Well, I seem to be a bit stuck. I suppose we'll have to end the episode here. But there was so much more about the strongholds I wanted to explore. We'll have to wait until next time. Anyway, hopefully someone will rescue me. I'm kind of getting hungry. Until next time, this has been Bugman CX. You've been watching Minecraft The Journey. Help!